Welcome to your number one guide to the life, challenges, and prospects in the diaspora. This is Diaspora TV Network. We educate, inform, and keep you updated with global incisive news, engaging interviews, immigration insights, tourism highlights, and more. All you need to know about Nigerians and other Africans living in diaspora. We understand what it means to seek greener pastures away from home, and we are committed to bringing you legit info on the challenges, prospects, and success stories of those living in diaspora. Get ready to be inspired, motivated, and educated as you embark on this adventure here on Diaspora TV Network with your host, media veteran Dele Aberuagba.
Hello viewers, you're welcome to your number one program, Diaspora TV Network. Today on this edition, I have a big fish in the house, definitely. My special guest is someone you would agree with me is a man of many parts. Not only is he a cleric in the house of God, this unassuming, simple man has proven to be an orator, a development coach, an author of many books, entrepreneur, philanthropist, property consultant, and senior pastor at the Still Waters Ministry in Wakefield, United Kingdom. Pastor Julius Olutokun possesses a unique motivational speaking prowess that will drive your listening acumen, I can assure you. Despite his busy schedule, Pastor Olutokun has agreed to be our guest on this program for this particular edition today, speaking about the varieties of issues concerning life in the UK as it affects Nigerians and Africans in general in the diaspora. Join me as I welcome this eminent personal developmental coach and an empowerment counselor, Pastor Julius Olutokun. You are welcome to this program, sir.
Thank you very much, sir, and thank you for having me today. Thank you, viewers, and thank you for having us in your space.
Let's drive straight to the point, sir. Would you want to give us the privilege of knowing what it takes, to be successful in the United Kingdom?
Thank you for that question. To be successful in the United Kingdom is a bit different from what I used to back home. Back home, I used to work in the bank, and I used to do businesses. However, this landscape is a completely different ballgame. Now, you need the same skills, you need the same virtues. However, I'll give you an instance. You are talking to somebody in the UK, they are setting you up straight. So number one, your integrity has to be top notch. Number two, your track record. They are finding out where do you live, what are the things you do, what are the things you have done in the past. I remember, I'll give you an instance, I was going to have an interview sometimes with BBC in this Wakefield during the COVID era. And the first thing they did after my name was put forward by the local authority is to go and begin to search my background history. And they asked me for my full name, my date of birth, all those they have to find out about you. So in order to become successful in the UK, number one, your integrity has got to be top notch. Your track record has got to be okay. And number three, you've got to do what you say. If you say, I'm going to provide this service unto you, you must be able to do it. And I would say, as an African person, your services the expectation from you has got to exceed the expectation of the locals. You understand? Assuming if a local person is delivering 3/10, you have to do about 9/10 for you to be accepted. So no one is going to welcome you if you are not exceptional. That's what I'm saying. So you need to be exceptional in order to be successful.
As someone who has done so much in coaching people how to develop themselves and making sure that they live a sustainable life, especially here in the UK. What would you say have been the challenges, that one is, compelled to face in the course of seeking success?
The first thing, as an African, the first challenge is to, I would say, unlearn the way we do businesses in Africa or in Nigeria. Unlearn it. I know that people here, they have more option. The consumer, they have more rights. So you could provide a service today. 20 days time, somebody's coming to you and say, I'm not satisfied with it. They get their money back straight away. There's consumer protection. Number 3, people here, your yeah must be your yes, your no must be your no. And number 4, the expectations are be higher than what we're used to back home. So your expectations, your delivery has got to be excellent. Nobody's going to understand with you, and if it's something where they can make claim, they'll make that claim as soon as possible. So it's a system where people want to take advantage of you. However, if you have crossed all your T's and dot all your I's, obviously, you'll be able to do it right. And also, do not forget that everything you do, there's a record to it, either good or bad. People will go on Google and give you a Google review, and that spoils your business straight away. So you've got to be careful.
Recently, sir, I know that everyone is aware of this development, that the upsurge of so many professionals moving home into the UK.
Yeah.
Why is it that, especially so many professionals like doctors, engineers, teachers, when they come into the UK, they end up doing menial jobs? What is responsible for this?
Okay, that's a wonderful, wonderful question. I was expecting that question. We have all been there. I came in about 20 years ago, and then I was studying. I used to be a banker in Nigeria. I remember I applied for a job, and I thought I was applying for an admin job. That's what I thought. Yeah. Not knowing, I feel that I want to do admin, and the agency then took me to the warehouse. I didn't expect that, and well, I ended up working in the warehouse that day, and I was telling the colleagues that I want to do admin, and they said, look, you are new in the country, you have to start somewhere. Now, it's possible for you not to do menial job, but these are the easily affordable jobs that you can kickstart with. Like I said earlier on, you have to unlearn and relearn. So I started from there. But the error or the mistake most of us make is that we start from there and we don't have a career plan, a career pathing. I'm going to give my story. Aside from that, I was working in the warehouse. I was working as a factory worker and as a cleaner. You remember, I was a banker in Nigeria. I have people working under me now. I'm a floor staff now. But I didn't stop there. The first thing I did was I told myself, I can't continue like this. So I went for training to be a forklift driver. So I was driving forklift, the reach and the counterbalance. So the training took me about a week. So I did that. Then I went to do English and Maths training again, which is level 2. I finished that in one day, both of them. Level 2 is like GCSE. Then from there, then I completed my teacher training, and I became a full teacher, where I started volunteering before I became a full teacher. So you need a career path. It's not bad doing that menial job, but you don't want to stay there. I did that.
So it's something that is unavoidable.
It's avoidable if you're fortunate. I know some people now who came in the country, they never did any menial job. They were so blessed. They got into some careers that they want to do. And I know some medical doctors, he had to do a menial job in order to get settled. So it depends on the circumstances. Probably your wife has a job before she comes here. I came before my wife. I was there about a year and 2 months before my wife came. So I have to get settled. My wife never did any menial job. So I would say it's unavoidable if you are the first generation. It's avoidable if you're blessed.
Okay, my people, how una day? I still remain yours sincerely, Tayo Mustafa. Others call me Marshall, whichever one pleases you. I go by any one of them. I'm here to tell you about Diaspora Network. It's a new media initiative of my one and only Oga and Egbon, Dele Aberuagba. We all live different lives in United Kingdom, in Europe, in America, and we need to be talking about it. Are we talking about immigration status? Are we talking about employment? Are we talking about human capacity development? Are we talking about business networking? Are we talking about so many things that have to do with our welfare, with our professional networking, social networking? You can get all this on Diaspora Network. Initiated by the one and only Dele Aberuagba. I am already there. Don't be left out. Ireu.
I'm aware that pastoral duties, you being the senior pastor at your church, Still Waters Ministry, I know that it's something that is demanding the coaching, the teaching, the preparations for sermon every Sundays. How have you been able to merge all these with your other jobs, particularly the family?
Well, it's challenging. If I say it's not challenging, it's a lie. Being a pastor in the UK is completely different from being a pastor abroad or in Africa. In Africa, you have a lot of support, you have a lot of work, you have a lot of people who will come into the church to help you to do a lot of things. In the UK, time is much more precious, you understand, and you have little more than what we have in Africa. So this is where effective and dynamic time management come into play. Now, I have to prepare messages, prepare teaching. At least I deliver 2 or 3 sermons every week, apart from training that I have to do. And I have to do my own business, and my family is there. Time management is so key. When I'm at work, I'm at work. When I say work is both pastoring and business. And when I'm at home, I'm at home. Nothing disturbs that. So I hardly pick calls at home. If you're calling me at home, I'm just text me. I pick only very, very essential calls. Probably calls from my ministers, calls from people that are very urgent. If it's
what if it's a distress calls from perhaps a church members or something?
If it's distress, then I have to. You understand? But if it's something that's not urgent and I can push forward to the next day, I push it forward. You understand?
So as to create time for the family. Family
is very important. So when I'm at home, nothing changes that. You understand?
There is this issue of quite a lot of people that are in the UK at the moment that have stayed their initial number of years on their visas. The British Home Office recently introduced an increase in how much they have to pay for health surcharge, which is somewhat quite enormous. Now, don't you think that quite a lot of people are going to end up overstaying here? Because for a family that comes in here with like 2, 3, 4 children and they have to pay like £3,000 per each person, don't you think that's going to head on into commotion?
Thank you, sir. I have to say something about the immigration health surcharge. And when we came in about 20 years ago, there was nothing like that. It was Theresa May that introduced the immigration health surcharge. I think it's about 2010, 2011, thereabout. And one thing I want to say is, please, viewers should forgive me for being a bit controversial. I do not blame the UK for introducing that health surcharge. If there's any country in the world that knows how to manage immigration to their advantage, UK is number one. They are making so much money from immigration to their advantage. I don't blame them. The system is good. The system is good. It's better than where we're coming from. Let's not lie. You understand? However, the immigration health surcharge to me is double taxation, because we pay our national insurance contribution, which is used to fund the NHS. And you're not charging migrants again for immigration health surcharge to fund the NHS. That's double taxation. And I think someone should rise, or I think we should come together to rise and fight on behalf of our brothers and sisters who are being taxed. Because if you're not searching in the United Kingdom, you have to pay. Even doctors and nurses were paying it before. It was COVID that made them to exonerate doctors and nurses from paying it. Prior to COVID-19, everybody was paying it. So therefore, I think it's double taxation. People are going to find it difficult to pay, but I want to encourage you, if you're in that position, it's worth it to go and take a loan, borrow money to pay it. It's going to affect a lot of families. However, the UK has a system where I think you can ask for a waiver to some of these fees. But I'm not sure whether you can ask for waiver for immigration or surcharge. But for the Home Office fee, if your income is low, you can apply for waiver. It's allowed.
Yeah. You have just mentioned something that the system here in the UK is good. Everyone knows that. But at this point, we know the situation in Africa, so to speak, generally.
Yeah.
Would you quite honestly advise anyone to pursue the dream of still coming into the UK?
1,000,000,000%. a 1,000,000,000%. In Africa is good if, number one, listen to me very well. Don't just call Africa is good. Africa is good if you are rich, influential, and have connection. If you're rich, influential, and don't have connection, it's not good. Because you could be rich and you can still suffer. You understand? But the UK, where I live, is good even if you're poor, you're not influential, and you have no connection. The basic needs, food, shelter, and health, are provided. So what do you need? So anybody that wants to take a step to go into any part of the West, take your chance. It's worth it. You understand? However, if you are influential, rich, and you have connection, right, political connection or military affiliation, stay where you are. You understand? However, I would say 1,000,000,000 times, go to the West, go and develop yourself.
Peradventure, you come back into this world again, would you still want to end up being a pastor?
I would say 1,000,000,000 times again. And why? So I'm going to tell you why. Because I like to help people. I like to point people into the direction of the right way. I like to empower people. I like to influence people. I like to motivate people. I like to develop intergenerational heritage. So I want to be. In fact, if it's possible, I've said in church many times ago, I've got 3 kids, girls. If 3 of them becomes pastor, I'll be happy. I'll be so happy, honestly.
There was this controversy, involving one of the top, man of God in Nigeria at the time, not too long ago anyway, regarding tithes and offerings. What's your position about Christians that go against paying of tithes and offerings?
Okay. Oh, that's great. That's a wonderful question, sir. When it comes to tithing, tithing, people always say is a law. It's like tithing is not a law. Tithing was before the law. Abraham gave tithes. Jacob said, I will tithe. So tithing was before the law. However, tithing must be based on love. Malachi chapter 3 that everybody quotes, God was not telling the Israelites to tithe. He was telling the priests about tithing. So that direction was to the priest. However, like one of my sons in the Lord, we always say, tithing is spiritual common sense. If you belong to a club, you need to pay something to that club for that club to function. If you're in a family, you need to contribute something to that family for that family to function. Now, for the church to function, we need to give something. That thing must not be based on the law. It must not be based on 10%. I don't give 10%. I used to give 10%, but I don't give 10%. I give what is more than 10% because I love God. So He gives me all. So I think 10% to me is too small for Him. So I give God more than 10. There's nothing bad about tithing. Tithing is good. People compare us to the old established Orthodox churches or the big churches like the Catholic, the Salvation Army. All these churches are super successful. They don't need to take money from anybody. The Salvation Army owns Reliance Bank. It's a bank that functions in the UK. It's a multi-million pound bank. The Catholic Church is the richest organization in the world. They don't need your tithes or offering to function. However, I must say this, there's a lot of pastors, new generation pastors like us, who have abused tithing. When you see the church, the pastor is about 100 people, and their lifestyle is questionable, it's beyond that, and they have no other source of income except the church, then that's questionable. That's why a lot of people are picking up on tithing. There's nothing wrong about tithing. Tithing is excellent. It's a good way of financing the work of God. But it must not be compelled. God loves a cheerful giver. That's what the Bible says.
How fashionable are you? Because quite a number of men of God, are known for this flamboyant way of dressing. How fashionable are you, sir?
I can't be my judge. I can't be my jury. The only thing I could say is the lifestyle I live, I try to be modest, because the Bible says, let your moderation be known unto all men. I've always told people, if I want to drive the kind of car that my colleague drive or my mates drive, it's not going to be what I drive today. But however, you need to be modest, you need to be humble with what you have, and if the kind of car you drive does not matter. But the time, how many lives are you able to influence? So I don't believe in fashion. I believe that we just need to be modest.
Why the choice of settling in Wakefield, the West Yorkshire part of England? Because I would have expected that, for somebody who is so rich like you, who probably would have chosen to be in London or like other top cities in the UK. Why the choice of Wakefield?
Thank you very much, sir. A lot of people ask me that question. As a matter of fact, the first time I got to Wakefield, I think the first month, and I saw this guy, he's from the eastern part of Nigeria. He said, why did you come here? Your people. He said, your people. I said, who are my people? He said, the Yoruba people don't come to the north of England. They stay in London. He said, you're still going to go back to London. I know a lot of you that came in here, they've gone back to London. I would say my being in Wakefield is divine direction. Before I left Nigeria, I prayed. And I said, God, where do you want me to settle down? Apart from the school that I have to go around here, where do you want me to settle down? And the Lord directed me that I want you to go to the north of England. Where in north? I didn't know. I didn't know anybody in the north of England. I knew one or two people in London. He said, I want to go to the north of England. So while I prayed about that, and 2 weeks before I traveled, somebody came to our church for a Thanksgiving. We just came from the UK. So a week before I traveled, I was talking to the sister, and the sister said, oh, he used to live in Wakefield, but it's not in. I said, where's Wakefield? He said, oh, it's in the north of England. And that sat down with me. So I took his contact. He was in Nigeria, and I came over here. So it was divine direction. I remember first time I came, I slept in London for the first day, and the guy that I slept in his house was asking, do you want to settle down here? I said, no, I'm going to Wakefield. He said, do you know anybody there? I don't know anybody there, but I knew somebody in Nigeria who used to live in Wakefield, and that's how I ended up in Wakefield. Yeah. So it's divine direction.
Yeah.
If them they doubt, no they believe cause the little fee be denier. You go see yourself on top. Hi, this is Temidi straight out of Canada, and I have very important information for you. You want all of the information about the Nigeria entertainment industry, about Africa at large, about everything important on the internet. You should visit Diaspora TV Network by Mr. Dele Aberuagba. Visit Diaspora TV Network. Thank you. Temidi say so. Let's go.
How would you describe the role of the woman in your life? What part would you say she has played?
Oh, my wife is wonderful. We met about 26 years ago, and number one, she's a steady supporter. That's one thing. My wife is a steady supporter. Anything I want to do, or then I will pray about it, and I communicate with her. She will look at it and say, oh, probably we should do this now. Or she will pray about it and say, look, this is what I feel about it. And I call her a steady supporter. I call her my number one fan. even in the midst of challenges, when the opposition left and center in the city, she took all the rubbish, she took all the pain, and she at no time ever doubts the calling of God on my life. She has no time ever doubt when I said the Lord told me this, or the Lord inspired me that we do this. She just follows. You understand? So I want to thank God that the Lord enabled us to meet. And I always thank God for how we met, because it can only be God.
Yeah. To serve as something that would inspire the younger generation, how do you relate as husband and wife at home?
Okay, the first thing is, number one, we see ourselves like a brother and a sister. That's the first thing. We see ourselves as siblings. That's the first thing we saw. We saw ourselves as siblings before we saw ourselves as husband and wife. In other words, no matter what your brother or your sister does for you, you're not going to say, I'm going to change my name because of my brother or my sister, or you are no more my brother. No. We see ourselves as siblings. That's number one. Number two, we see ourselves as husband and wife. So, and number three, we see ourselves as best friend. That's my number one best friend, and I am my wife's number one best friend. Now, if there's anything that bothers me or bothers her, we share it first to one another. Now, if there's anything that maybe causes a friction or argument, we'll try not to sleep with it. We'll say, let's talk about this. Even when we disagree, we'll still pray together. We don't allow the devil to, because when you stop praying together, what the lawyers will call a lacuna, a gap will start getting created. Then, in the area of family, one of the things that causes friction is finances. If you ask my wife today, how much do you pay for water? She doesn't know. How much do you pay for electric? She doesn't know. Since we got married over 25 years now, there's never been a day when we sit down to talk about, you take water, I take this. No. Finances is one. So we have a joint account. Our businesses, we do it together. As a matter of fact, she is a director of some of the main businesses that we do. And we do the business, but she's the director of them and sole director, of some of the businesses that we do. And that has really helped us. And finances, we do it together. We try to say, you have done this, I really don't like this. This is what you have done, I really don't like that. So there's that communication. Communication is very key in every home. And number three, and this is very important, family. The extended family, if we're going to give this person £10, we decide together. If we're going to give that person £15, we decide. So we do it in unity. And that's really helped us.
There is an issue that is getting very prevalent, especially among Nigerians, who are settled in the UK at the moment. Some people, it would happen that it will be the woman that will stage it. In some cases, it will be the man that will stage it. Domestic violence. What's your take about couples using domestic violence to guarantee their stay in the country?
It's a wonderful question, sir. When there was one statistics I have, I don't have it. I don't know the current statistics now. It was about 12 years ago. But now I believe it will have changed. It will have changed so much. At that time, it was about 65%. And now, out of the 65%, some are real, some are not real. Some are, especially when the Home Office came up with that, if you are a domestic abuse victim or domestic violence victim, the Home Office will give you indefinite leave to remain. A lot of people some people started using that. Or my husband emotionally abused me, my husband slapped me, my husband does this. But we have had cases of where the man complains against the woman, but it's very rare. I know families where the woman is abusing the man, but the man just decided to keep quiet for the sake of the children or for the sake of love. You understand? It's prevalent in the UK. What will be done to you in Africa, you not complain. You come to the UK, less than half of that is done to you, and people start complaining. Well, I am not there, I can say, but people are using that as an advantage, but it's not worthy anyway.
Yeah. What would be your candid advice to Nigeria in view of the various turbulence in various aspects of life in Nigeria? What would be your candid advice to Nigeria, Nigerian leaders?
Okay, let's start from Nigerians.
Yeah.
Because it's the citizens that make the leadership. Let me use the word common, not common as the way you think. A common Nigeria on the street today is who will become the senator tomorrow, the local government chairman, the councillor, the governor, the commissioner, the minister, and vice president and the president, and every Nigeria. Now, President Olusegun Obasanjo said something. He said the thieves that are out of government are more than the ones that are in government. Nigerians need a lot of reorientation. A lot of reorientation. Our minds are abused the way we've been brought up. When people ask me, Nigeria is going to be good, the only question I ask them is, I'm not doubting it, I'm not going to say it's not going to be good. What I want you to tell me is that, how will it be good? You can tell me how, I believe you. But we're looking at the indices and the things that are going on in the country today is getting worse. If you go to local authority to do something, somebody wants to collect bribe from you. If you go to apply for anything from the road safety, they want to collect money from you. If you go to custom, you want to. I used to ship many years ago, but I got frustrated and I said, never will I ever do it again. You understand? Now you need to clear your shipping. The money you're going to pay, official money, is about 500k, and you spend about 2 million. Where are we going? Everybody blames the president, will blame the commissioner, will blame the governor. I think we need the blame. Every Nigerian should be blamed. And when you ask an average Nigerian today, they will say, look, it's a normal thing. When you get there, you eat your own. I say, let me use this English, chop, make I chop. You understand? So I think the problem Nigerians are Nigerians. And also, Nigerians, I know they say vote does not count, but INEC officials are not angels. INEC officials are not British. They are not Americans. They are not from Zimbabwe. They are Nigerians. So if INEC official says we're not going to collect bribe, this election is going to be just and right, we will change the leadership. So the leadership is not our problem. We put them there. He said I will put them by vote there, which we voted. Or we'll put them there by INEC. Or we'll put them there by the police or the military or the thugs intimidating INEC to declare. So we put them there. Please, let's remember Professor Humphrey Nwosu in the days of June 12th. He was jailed, he was locked up because he was going to release the result of June 12th. You understand? So I would say, I don't even talk about Nigerian leaders, but we empower them. If we don't vote them, they won't be there. So Nigerians are the problem. I mean, we've been to Ghana, we spoiled Ghana. Ghanaians are saying that Nigeria must go. We've been to Pakistan, we've been to China, we spoiled there. So you say it's not leadership, it's not President Tinubu that is spoiling Ghana, it's not the one spoiling Zimbabwe. You know, so we are the problem. So I want to tell Nigerians, the National Orientation Agency needs to start working, and it should be empowered to be able to work. That's my advice.
Our adventures are, if you were to meet face to face with God the next second, what would you say to him?
I just thank God. First of all, I will thank Him for giving me the opportunity to live the life I'm living now. I'll thank Him for that, and I'll ask Him to give me more grace to be able to help and empower the people I can reach. That's what I'm going to ask Him.
Thank you so much for your time, sir. I do honestly hope that when next we call on you, you definitely oblige us.
By the grace of God.
Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.